Well, we've been, you look at our one-run, I think, record, that signifies a couple things. At critical times late in the game, we're getting outs from the pitching staff, we're playing defense. And, and I think Greg's overall performance, solidifies those at the end, that we can win those games. And, a couple of them been, walk-offs, but we haven't had a lot of walk-offs compared to other teams. But I think it shows that, at like certain junctures, there's a pitch made or there's a play made, or we get the hit that we come back from a tie game or a deficit. So, that what it tells me is that our guys, when it sort of gets hot and it gets tight, we're okay.
Along those lines, Skip, it's tough to win a game when the starting pitcher goes out so early. Is there an update on Kyle? And
He's got a growing strain. He's got a growing pull to some extent. Again, these things are, just hours after, the trauma. We don't know exactly how it's going to set up. So the next couple of days, we'll know, the extent of this. When he, when he comes in tomorrow or the next day and we test the strength and we see how he's feeling. The imaging after the game showed no structural damage, which was fine, in the growing area. So we'll see. I mean, it's like I said, like a calf strain, a growing strain, a hamstring, they're all sort of dicey, right? And, we'll have more information tomorrow. No. Initially on the stolen base attempt, when he squatted. He felt a little something, and then on the very next pitch, that's when he, truly felt it.
You had Chris Russell come in, really escaped that second inning. They gave you some time there, and then also sent some help too. Talk about the other
we had to come in the first inning too now, with a man on second base, and escaped that with no runs, and then he got out of the single bunt with no damage, which was huge. Then he went on to put up a 0 in the third and got 2 outs in the fourth. Then Sensa picked him up. So, I mean, it truly was a total pitching staff effort, from a number of guys. In a game like that, when your starter has to exit, that's what you need. I mean, it's not easy, for sure. But, to win a relatively low-scoring game when your starter exits, it's a pretty good pitching performance by the bullpen.
Mike Dunn as well. Is he getting back to the point
Mike's. We've talked about that now. Mike's Mike's pitching well. We've talked about the fastball command, the consistency of the slider, the curveball, his third pitch is coming into play. Didn't come into play tonight, but it has in previous outings. So Dunner's back to what we saw. The first 6 weeks of the season. Before he got, nicked up with that DL stint. But, Dunner's doing great. He's pitching very well.
Even on the road trip back home here, DJ's been very steady and hot for you guys.
Yeah. DJ's getting his hits. What's he up to now? Over 320, I think. We've seen his average climb, over the last 3 weeks up to where it is now. And that's just a, steady collection of hits. So, and that's what he does. He's a hit collector. Uses the whole field. The guy was the National League batting champion. He gets hits.
Why do they keep intentionally walking guys to get to DJ?
Well, the other guy that they walked is a pretty good hitter too. So that's pick your poison. Pete was in a tough spot.
But with Luke Roy, it seems like he's really working in nicely with the staff.
Luke's doing a good job at it. I think that he's acclimating very quick. There's a lot of dialogue for sure. From the time that he comes through those doors, he's talking baseball, which is great. I know that he's working with Dwayne and Sally on the hitting side. He's working with Foster and Homie on the hitting side, on the pitching side. He'll give me a drive-by, and we'll talk. But man, he's immersing himself in Rocky baseball. Man, it's beautiful. I love it. I'm a Luke fan.
And you have to be an Arenado fan. I mean, tonight, a lot of fly balls. Maybe got under some balls.
Well, I mean, that was, sort of the momentum was on their side a little bit, when they came back and tied the game, then took the lead, and Nolan had the big swing. That sort of got, energized us a little bit, in a couple different ways. But, he had a couple pitches to hit, and he missed them. And he was frustrated a little bit because he knew he had some pitches. But that happens. But, we'll take Nolan in a big spot anytime.
Yeah, well, more late game stuff from Papaleka there. He's giving it 2 games in a row. Just gets the job done.
Well, here's the deal with Pat. The big reliever threw strike one, and then had a couple close pitches, and Pat laid off him. Pat's an aggressive, hitter to start with, but for him to show the discipline against a guy with pretty good stuff was an awesome at bat. And then what went unnoticed was when Luke squared on the first pitch, and to read that ball. Getting away from Rupp was baseball instinct, and Pat has that. Pat's a ball player, and I've said this numerous times. I'm a Valleca fan.